Hey everybody, my name is Chris Ray, and I'm here to do a preview of WereWords Deluxe Edition. WereWords is one of my favorite games. It's a social deduction game mixed with a word game, and it's a little bit like 20 Questions meets Werewolf. Now, last year, Bezier released WereWords, and this is the old box, but the new box is being released on Kickstarter. There's new artwork, new roles, and new ways to play, and Bezier was kind enough to send me a preview copy, and I've gotten to play it about 20 times in recent weeks. I'm really loving it. This is a great game, and it makes great changes to WereWords. So I'm going to walk you through the changes, and then on the back end, I'm going to tell you about what I thought. First, let's talk about gameplay. I should mention that my copy of the game is a handmade prototype, and some of the components you're about to see are stretch goals for the Kickstarter campaign. Everybody has a different role in the game as shown on these different cards. If you're on the village team, and most of the players are, you'll have one of these cards on the left. Your goal is to find the magic word, and your team has a good chance of winning if you do. If you're on the werewolf team, your goal is to mislead the village team. You do not want them to find the magic word. Basically, your goal is to be deceptive. One of the players is going to be the mayor. The mayor is the most important role in the game, because the mayor is actually who will pick the magic word from the app, and the mayor is who will answer the yes-no questions during the core part of the gameplay. When the mayor answers a question, he'll give a green token for yes, or a red token for no, or a blue token for maybe. The game comes with lots of different tokens, but one of the stretch goals in the campaign is that there are now 3 oversized tokens, which add some cool features. If you give out this token, it means that the village is very close. If you give out the large yellow token, it means that they're correct. And if you give out this one, it means that they are way, way off, and the werewolf has probably been misleading them. There are new ways to play, there's new artwork on all the cards, and there are new roles in the game. So I wanted to go over those new roles. Let's walk through the different roles in the game. We've already talked about the mayor, who is the person answering the questions. The mayor has a second card, though, and that card determines their loyalty, so they could be on either the village team or the werewolf team. Most of the cards that come with the game are villager cards. The villagers do not know the magic word, and their goal is to guess it. Helping them is the seer. The seer knows the magic word and can help lead the villagers to it, but the seer has to be subtle. If the village correctly guesses the magic word, the werewolf can still win if they find the seer. My favorite new role in the game is the fortune teller. The fortune teller knows 1 or 2 letters in the magic word, plus they know where those letters fit, and they know the length of the magic word. Basically, it feels like they're playing Wheel of Fortune. The fortune teller isn't as powerful as the seer because they don't know the entire word, but they can still be very helpful. The apprentice is another new role. The apprentice acts as either the seer or the fortune teller if the mayor has either of those cards. So the apprentice has a shifting role depending on what cards in the game and who has what. The beholder knows the identity of the seer and the fortune teller, so the beholder can follow their lead when it comes to guessing the magic word. The Thing is another new role. It might be familiar if you've ever played One Night Ultimate Werewolf. The Thing wakes in the middle of the night and bumps one of their neighbors on the shoulder, letting that player know that the Thing isn't the werewolf. Unfortunately, if they manage to touch a werewolf, they just made the hunt for the seer even easier. There are a couple of masons that can be in the game. The masons know each other's identity. They wake up in the middle of the night, then look to see who the other mason is. This means that they can vouch for each other's identity if it is ever in question. Of course, there are also werewolves in the game. A couple of players can be werewolves. The werewolves win if the village doesn't guess the magic word and the werewolves stay hidden. They can also win if the village gets the magic word and they manage to find the seer. Helping them will be the minion. The minion doesn't know the magic word like the werewolves do, but the minion knows the identity of the werewolves and can thus help that team. One other role I haven't talked about is the doppelganger. The doppelganger is actually a stretch goal, and it's one of the more complicated roles in the game. The doppelganger will actually wake up and look at another card in the middle of the night and assume that identity. The app help runs it, and I won't walk through all the different parts here, but it is one of the stretch goals, and it's actually a pretty cool role. So let's walk through the app. I've taken a few screenshots, and the first one you see on the left is actually what you see when the app opens. After that, you get to the screen where you can select the number of players by selecting the different roles in the game. The mayor is automatically selected, and then you just touch the additional cards that you've put into play. It shows you the number of players, and you can also select the difficulty of the words. Once you hit play, the game will begin. The first thing that happens is the mayor will touch their role, and then the mayor will actually pick from a list of words. So here you see Betty Crocker, Jelly, and Milk Duds. You can theme the words so you can have food words or words from the 50s and 60s, etc., etc. Once the mayor has picked the word, it's time to show it to the other players that need to see it. The first screenshot here shows the word, salad dressing in this case, and this is how the seer and the werewolf would actually see it. It's printed in big bold letters so that they could see the word even if they were sitting some distance away. The second screenshot shows what the fortune teller would see. Remember, they only get to see a letter or two, not the whole word, so they have a little bit of information, but not as much as the seer. The final screenshot shows the countdown. There are 3 ways this could end. You could get the word correct, in which case you touch the star on the top right. You could run out of tokens, in which case you touch the bottom on the top left, or time could run out. Before I talk through my final thoughts, I want to talk about one more way to play the game. It's in the app and it's called Speed Words. Speed Words gives you 2 minutes to guess the word, which is pretty tough, but it also gives you more information. Sort of like what the fortune teller gave you, where you see a letter or two, Speed Words actually puts it out there, but not just for the fortune teller, it puts it out there for everybody. So it's a lightning fast way to play WereWords. It's really engaging and it's really cool. It's a cool addition to the app, and it's one of the coolest additions to WereWords Deluxe Edition. So what are my final thoughts on the game? Well, to put it succinctly, I love it. I'm a big fan of WereWords, so I was always going to love the WereWords Deluxe Edition, but this has far exceeded my expectations, and it's rekindled my love in the game. I've played this 20 times in recent weeks, and I've played it with a lot of different groups. Part of the joy of WereWords is it works with just about any group. So I've played this with everybody from my parents to my game group. I've played it with party gamers, and I've played it with strategy gamers, and everybody seems to like it. It's one of those games that has a pretty broad appeal. So what are my favorite parts of the new version? Well, I really love Speed Words. It's probably my favorite way to play, but I also really love the new roles. The Doppelganger, the Beholder, the Fortune Teller, and the thing that goes bump in the night, those are some really cool additions, and they really change up the game. I also like that there are a lot more cards, so you can play this with up to 20 players. I like the new artwork, and I really love the new app. So I love everything about this new version. If you like WereWords, I think this is the definitive edition, and this is what I recommend that you get. And if you haven't tried WereWords, I really recommend it, and I check it out. So my final rating is, I love it. My name is Chris Ray. Thanks for watching the preview, and you can check me out on BoardGameGeek with the username ChrisRay84. Last name is spelled W-R-A-Y. Thanks.